Today we're getting started on our new project, something we're going to call a little bit tough. Basically, for the most part, everything on this car will be made out of a sheet aluminum or billet aluminum.
In the somewhat golden era of automotive innovation, between 2004 and 2007, an unparalleled reality TV phenomenon graced the screens of the Learning and Discovery Channel. This groundbreaking show, none other than American Hot Rod, catapulted viewers into the mesmerizing world of automotive craftsmanship and creativity. At its helm was the legendary Boyd Coddington, revered as the deity of hot rods. The show was a spotlight on Boyd and his crew at his shop in La Habra, California, as they built custom vehicles and hot rods for clients under tight deadlines and challenging technical environments. American Hot Rod is that car show that inspired every other car show out there, but it came to an untimely end, disappearing from our screens forever. Many shows have sprung up in its wake, but none compared to the uncut originality of this epic show. So join us as we roll back the curtains on the real reason why American Hot Rods ended.
You know, we've been through a lot the last few months.
Why the you gotta do like this?
Because it's funny.
I'll show you what's funny, me kicking your ass.
There's been a lot of stress and tension in the shop, and the emotions have been really explosive.
Hot rods are an iconic part of American car culture. These small cars with sleek designs, massive rumbling engines, and impressive performance have captivated Americans for years. But today, it's like only a few care about them anymore. The rise of hot rods can be traced back to the early 20th century. This was the rave at the time, and most young Americans could be found modifying their vehicles to create the perfect blend of style and performance. These modifications included engine swaps, body alterations, and any other customization that made the cars faster and visually appealing. The true golden age of hot rods is the post-World War II era. Returning soldiers who missed the adrenaline high they got from the battlefield found that fast cars could provide them with the same rush. This need for speed brought about an evolution in the American car culture, and the 1950s and 1960s saw a surge in the popularity of hot rods. Back then, you weren't one of the cool guys if you didn't own a hot rod. Hot rods went from being just fast cars to becoming a symbol. They represented rebellion, freedom, and individuality. For some people, it became a personal expression. Each car was unique, with personalities turned to whoever owned it. One man born in this area would later become very influential in this aspect of American automotive culture. His name is Boyd Leon Coddington, and he was born in Idaho to Harold and Lorna Sparrow Coddington. Boyd was born just when hot rods began growing in popularity, and as a young kid, these things instantly caught his fancy. He'd spend time reading about them in magazines, and this love would develop into a passion. As he grew older, Boyd became interested in designing, constructing, and welding car parts. Even though he was 3 years younger than the age requirement for driving, he got his first truck, a 1931 Chevrolet pickup. The rumors were that he traded a shotgun just to be able to buy it. Wanting to grow his passion into a trade, Boyd went to a technical trade school where he learned to become a machinist. Then he apprenticed for 3 years at a machine shop. In 1968, he moved to Southern California in search of greener pastures. He worked the graveyard shift as a machinist at Disneyland in Anaheim while building hot rods in his garage at home during his free time. Soon, his skills in making cars look better became well known, and people came calling for his services. After some time, his services demand became so much that he opened his own auto shop, which he rightly named Hot Rods by Boyd in 1977. In 1978, he relocated to Orange Avenue at Buena Park, where he put a 1,000-square-foot garage at the back of his house as a shop. Then he quit his job at Disneyland to focus on hot rod building. Boyd gave his life to building hot rods. His journey, creativity, and personality set the premise for the reality TV show American Hot Rods. Boyd was doing super well. In 1995, he took his business public in an initial public offering on the NASDAQ, and things didn't turn out as envisioned. By 2001, Boyd was in debt over $500,000, and he filed for personal bankruptcy after listing only $8,800 in assets. This personal bankruptcy resulted from the debts he incurred when Hot Rods by Boyd and Boyd's Wheels went bankrupt 3 years prior. In the prime of his businesses, Boyd was making sales in excess of $30 million, but somehow he ran out of cash and the banks froze his credit line. The problem with the businesses was that Boyd had ramped up production at a time when the demand for custom wheels was at an all-time low. Declaring bankruptcy resulted in lawsuits, with creditors claiming that Boyd used company assets for personal gain. However, Boyd denied this and didn't quit the car customization niche. He staged a comeback by selling some of his real estate holdings, which amounted to $1.5 million. He also sold his Ferrari for $150,000 to fund his new business ventures. The sale from Boyd Coddington wheels picked up, and Boyd Coddington Garage became fully operational again, selling vehicles ranging from $100,000 to $400,000. Boyd's tenacity made him a legend in car circles. But there was something else. This bearded and bespectacled hot rodder was easily recognizable as he regularly donned Hawaiian shirts. With his appearance on American Hot Rods, Boyd went from being easily recognizable to becoming a household name. American Hot Rod debuted in 2004, and it followed Boyd and his staff as they built hot rods and custom automobiles in his shop in La Habra, California. The construction of one custom car was documented in 3 to 4 episodes, each lasting an hour. It ran for 5 seasons, and his team's efforts featured the hand-built Alumitub Roadster, the vintage 1942 Woody, the 1961 Chevy Impala Bubble Top, and an Elvis homage car. American Hot Rods grew to become a popular and influential show, not just because of its awesome build, but also because of its high production values, detailed look at the hot rod building process, and colorful cast of characters. Aside from Boyd Coddington, we got to watch other crew members like Dwayne Mayer, a key member and one of Boyd's top mechanics. Charlie Hutton was another mechanic and fabricator who worked at Boyd's shop. He was also a mainstay on the show. American Hot Rods was undoubtedly an epic, excellent show, but it unfortunately stopped airing in 2007. Hot rods are highly respected today, which is why we love shows like that. However, the advent of iconic muscle cars like the Ford Mustang, Dodge Charger, and Chevrolet Camaro reduced the demand for hot rods. These cars were readily available to the average car buyer, and they offered a level of performance that outclassed hot rods. The decline in the popularity of hot rods was hit even further when the Japanese automobiles found their feet in the American market. They were highly customizable and focused on delivering style and performance with the addition of reliability. Japanese cars birthed a new trend known as the tuner culture. Despite the decline in demand for hot rods, the reality TV show American Hot Rods still thrived in the early 2000s due to one-man's ethics and workmanship. Boyd Coddington was the brain and driving force behind the show. Sure, the exceptional builds that came out of his shop couldn't have happened if not for his team, but Boyd believed in his own press, and he was the major reason hot rods by Boyd were so popular. He believed that anything with his name on it would sell, and that's still evident today. Cars made by Boyd, like the Alumitub and the Cadzilla, some of the most famous creations, have been valued to be worth millions of dollars. A Boyd Coddington's car's worth is determined by a number of criteria, including its scarcity, the level of skill involved in its manufacture, and the car's overall historical significance. But as long as Boyd had a hand in the build, it would sell for more. However, in a tragic turn of events, the vibrant legacy of Boyd Coddington faced a daunting crossroads on February 27, 2008, as the automotive maestro met an untimely end at the Presbyterian Intercommunity Hospital in Whittier. The visionary craftsman, celebrated as the hot rod god, succumbed to complications arising from surgery for a perforated colon, kidney issues, and the relentless grip of sepsis. Boyd, a longtime diabetic, had been under hospital care since December 2007. Despite valiant efforts to save him, he slipped away, leaving a void in the hearts of many. His passing cast a somber shadow over his family, as he left behind his third wife, Jo McGee, and 5 children from 3 different marriages. The aftermath of Boyd's departure reverberated throughout the corridors of his renowned shop, once a bustling hub of creativity and craftsmanship. Intricately tied to his iconic name, the business faced financial challenges, untimely leading to a transition into new ownership. The workshop continued to echo with the sounds of the industry for a fleeting moment, but the strains of the financial woes and legal disputes proved insurmountable. As the doors of Boyd Coddington's shop closed definitively, so did the chapter of American Hot Rod. The once thriving show was shelved, its poignant narrative now relegated to the memories of fans and echoed in the spirit of subsequent shows inspired by its groundbreaking concept. Boyd Coddington's indelible mark on the world of hot rods lives on, not just in the vehicles he crafted, but in the enduring inspiration he left for generations of automotive enthusiasts. What is set in stone is that Boyd Coddington revolutionized hot rodding. What distinguished him from other hot rodders was that he developed and manufactured nearly every component of the vehicle he built. His work set the benchmark for custom automotive design. He won the highly coveted America's Most Beautiful Roadster Award 6 times, unprecedented, and the Daimler Chrysler Design Excellence Award twice. In 1988, he was named Hot Rod Magazine's Man of the Year, and his 1933 Ford Coupe was featured on the cover of Smithsonian Magazine. Boyd is a member of the National Rod and Custom Museum Hall of Fame, the Grand National Roadster Show Hall of Fame, the Route 66 Hall of Fame, and the SEMA Hall of Fame.